Carbohydrates are the devil, sugar is like crack cocaine, and carbs just make you fat. If you're trying to lose weight, you've probably heard some of these statements and you're probably not sure whether they're true or false. In today's video, that's why I'm going to help you understand whether carbs are good or not when it comes to fat loss. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to go over what really matters in terms of fat loss. If you're new to the channel, this is where I help you lose fat in a sustainable way and live a better lifestyle with a bit of a better mindset. If you want to get started with that, then you can just hit the subscribe button. But let's just get straight into today's video. I figured for this video, the easiest way to do it is to just look at the pros and cons of carbs if you're trying to lose fat. So the pros then. First of all, I love carbohydrates. As a food group, they're tasty, they're nice, they give me energy. That's just my personal opinion. You might be different, but I like them and that is a pro. So if you like them, then that's a pro of carbohydrates for you as well. Obviously, if you simply don't like carbohydrates in any way, that goes onto the con list. One of the key reasons then why carbohydrates are really useful if you're trying to lose weight, or they're really useful for us as humans in general, is they're our key source of energy. So just for day-to-day tasks, for exercise, our bodies prefer carbohydrates as a source of energy. It can be stored as glycogen, so we have a certain amount of storage within the muscles and within the liver. They can be quick releasing or they can be slow releasing, but ultimately they all get broken down into glucose, and that's how we use them as energy. The good thing about carbohydrates is per gram of carbohydrate, it's only 4 calories. When you compare this with fat, one fat is actually 9 calories, so just over double. So you can eat more carbohydrates for less calories than you can compared to consuming fatty foods. See then, if you're training, if you're exercising a lot, if you're running, or you're getting into a sport, then carbohydrates are really useful. Obviously, if you're a mere mortal like me, carbohydrates just give you energy to do day-to-day tasks, to work out, and to function. Let's look at the cons of carbohydrates then, the scary stuff, why people say we should avoid carbohydrates if we're trying to lose fat. Now, one of the main reasons is obviously they contain calories. Our calorie intake can be quite high if we're consuming a lot of carbohydrates, and this isn't great if we're trying to lose fat. Any excess calories, any excess carbohydrates we intake is ultimately going to get stored as fat. The thing people say then is it's addictive. Carbohydrates and sugar in particular are addictive, and to a certain extent I would agree with that, and that's because we need to be addicted to food in general, because we need food to survive. It's not like smoking or drug use or anything like that. Fundamentally, we need food. Really, I think it's difficult to kind of back up these claims that carbohydrates are super addictive. You know, we need food anyway, so whether they are addictive, whether they're not addictive, it doesn't massively matter. What we do know is the majority of people in the world eat carbohydrates, and there's people that maintain a healthy weight, there's people that are overweight, there's people that are underweight, so it is probably not down to the carbohydrates. They cause a massive spike in insulin. It's obviously the fat storage hormone. So that doesn't sound very good if we're trying to lose fat. Our bodies are very good at keeping a homeostasis. They're very good at keeping a natural hormone balance. So yes, if you have a lot of sugar, if you have a lot of glucose, your blood sugar levels will go up, and therefore our body needs to produce insulin to bring them down so we don't die. Really, there's not anything necessarily wrong with that. Obviously, if we're eating a high sugar diet all the time and we're having these ups and downs all the time, then maybe that's not great for things like diabetes. But our body is doing a very good job in the background of keeping things level, and we need this insulin to help us stay alive. I'm just going to summarize this bad boy up. Carbohydrates are pretty awesome. I think you don't need to eliminate them if you're trying to lose fat. Most of the population that maintain a healthy weight, they're also eating carbohydrates in some form. Lastly, if there's some of the favorite foods you enjoy, if you just completely eliminate them, that's going to be a pretty horrible experience and a pretty horrible existence. And if you don't need to, which you don't, to lose fat, then it's pretty unnecessary to put yourself through that. At the start of the video, I said there was something more important than considering whether you should be eating carbohydrates or not, and that is the fact that calories are king. So if you're trying to lose weight, trying to lose fat, if you're consuming less calories than you're expending, then you will lose fat. Even if all of those calories you can consume were sugary sweets, you would still lose fat. And that just goes to show that carbohydrates on their own can't make you fat. They can only contribute to weight gain if we're consuming overall more calories than we're expending. If you're eating loads and loads and loads and loads of carbohydrates, you're filling up your cup too much, it's overflowing, then your body is going to store fat. But this goes for everything. You could be eating no carbohydrates at all, and you could be eating loads and loads and loads of fatty type foods, and again, that's also going to store as fat. And that is why calories are king, and calories are the most important thing. You don't need to eradicate any food group as long as your calories are where they need to be to lose fat or maintain a healthy weight. If you like today's video in any way, give it a little tickle on that like button, smash it, like it, like it, like it, like it, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a really good week.